2 weeks ago, I went with my friend Dagmara and her new dog Winston for a short walk at the beach. There would be nothing odd with that except the fact that she was carrying a big bag filled with only with stuff for dogs, such as wipes, snacks, peanut butter for dogs, water, and even his toy, a stuffed dinosaur. Because you never know when the dog will start missing his toy and want to play with it instantly. Today we gathered here to celebrate joining of a new member to Loftus family. Happy Corgi Winston. Knowing Dagmara for almost 5 years, I know how much it means for her to finally have her dream Corgi. Since we are here for Winston as well as for Dagmara, I want to celebrate her as well, sharing some stories that will also show why she will be a perfect owner to Winston. Specifically, I want to emphasize how adventurous, responsible, and kind-hearted person she is. Each friend represents a word in us, a word possibly not born until they arrive. And it is only by this meeting that a new word is born, from the diary of Anais Nin. Dagmara is the most adventurous person I know. Since we met in 2012, we've been on many adventures together. The story I want to share with you had place on the East Coast in 2012. I remember calling Dagmara that I got 2 tickets for Marisiahu show that night in Woodstock, which was 2-3 hours away from her house. She agreed immediately, and soon after we were on our way. We had blast at the show, and it was acoustic version of the tour, and we both really enjoyed it. After the show, when everyone started to leave, the 2 guys that were playing guitar and violin came to us and started talking. Soon everyone left, and that's when the party was about to move to Marisiahu tour bus. I really wanted to go, but I understood that Dagmara has a long drive ahead and she might want to leave. She agreed immediately. I didn't have to convince her at all, and we found ourselves drinking Jack and Coke with Marisiahu and his crew. We left around 6 a.m. and I remember falling asleep on a seat belt while Dagmara bravely drove us home. I had so much fun that night and I'll never forget that. And it's all because Dagmara will never say no to an adventure. Winston is a lucky dog. He will have really exciting life and never be bored. Even though Dagmara is so adventurous, she's also very responsible. I can be really difficult at times, but Dagmara never lost her patience with me. I remember one of our first nights in Atlantic City, I got lost for an hour, came back later with 3 guys, claiming that I just made friends with them. Dagmara was suspicious of those guys and started watching me. And soon after, I started to behave really weird. And next thing I knew, I woke up the next morning with no memory of previous night. The friend that we were staying at the time told me what happened that night, that Dagmara was taking care of me and holding me and walking me home. And I was really strong and just trying to get away. But she even put me to bed. I refused to sleep, but she was holding my hand and waiting till I fall asleep. Later it became clear that I was drugged, and Dagmara was not aware of that at the time, and she thought I'm just really drunk, but she did not lose her patience with me. And I can see this responsibility showing through how she takes care of Winston. She even take him out of the car because she doesn't want him to run on the street. Not only Dagmara is such a responsible person, but she's also very caring and kind to people around her. Caring about people, about things, about life is an act of maturity by Tracy McMillan. One time we went for a road trip. It was Dagmara, our friend, me, and 2 other girls that we just met. And we were camping through Grand Canyon in our juicy car. And here's the card. That's the book that Dagmara gave me for my birthday a month after the trip. And I remember one night was really cold, too cold to stay in the car, so we found a host in Vegas through couchsurfing. We even convinced the 2 conservative girls to stay with those 5 party guys, but they had really great reviews on couchsurfing. And to our surprise, the girls were actually having fun with guys while we were just resting. And I remember later we all went to the hot tub, and that's when Dagmara dropped one of the guy's phone in the water, but he wasn't worried. He said, "No, the phone is waterproof." Well, came out next day it wasn't. But we're supposed to sleep in a living room, the three of us, but there were only two couches. So Dagmara volunteered to sleep on the floor, and I think I fell asleep in someone else's room, and she found me in the morning, and she wasn't even mad that she had to sleep on the floor and I didn't even make it to my bed. This caring and loving attitude is what Winston needs. Thank you for listening to my stories, and I believe all of you have some great memories with Dagmar that are worth sharing. Mine show how responsible, kind-hearted, and adventurous she is, and how she will be a perfect owner to Winston. Forgot what I was saying there. I think they're both really lucky to have each other, and I love seeing how Dagmara all lights up when she's with Winston. Dogs are not our whole life, but they make our lives whole. By photographer and writer Roger Karras. I think that they can teach each other so much and make each other's lives better. I can already see changes in Dagmara since she got Winston. She used to be such a germophobic, and at first she was picking up his poop wearing a glove and double bag, and now she's down to one bag, no glove. I always knew I can count on her, and the only thing that's different now is that now I can count on both of them. Thank you.